When Park Sung-hoon filmed Cho Hyun-ju's death scene during Squid Game, Season 3's memorable game of hide-and-seek, he managed to surprise himself by nailing it right away. Director Hwang Dong-hyuk gave me a direction saying, "When Hyun-ju slips away from the camera, could you have one tear roll down your face?" And I thought it would be hard, but I actually did it in one take, Park tells Variety. So when I finished it, the staff all clapped and cheered for me. When Park Sung-hoon filmed Cho Hyun-ju's death scene during Squid Game, Season 3's memorable game of hide-and-seek, he managed to surprise himself by nailing it right away. Director Hwang Dong-hyuk gave me a direction saying, "When Hyun-ju slips away from the camera, could you have one tear roll down your face?" And I thought it would be hard, but I actually did it in one take, Park tells Variety. So when I finished it, the staff all clapped and cheered for me. But that doesn't mean saying goodbye came easy, especially because Hyun-ju's death happened so unexpectedly early in the season. Recently, I've played a lot of villain characters, so I was so lucky to be able to play Hyun-ju, who is such a cool character, Park says. It was very hard for me to say goodbye to her, because I thought she would last longer. I think she died earlier than she should have, so it's a shame. Hyun-ju was introduced in Season 2 as one of the main players in the new game, with the goal of using the cash prize to help fund her gender-affirming surgery after getting discharged from the military. Relying on her training, she ends up teaming up with Song Ji-hyun, Lee Young-jae, becoming an instrumental leader in the rebellion. Variety previously spoke with Park about the preparation that went into playing a trans character as a cis actor. After Ji-hyun's rebellion fails at the end of Season 2, Episode 2 of this final season kicks off with half the players being forced to kill another player, while the hiders try to find the exit. Hyun-ju immediately sticks with the older woman, Jang Ji-ja, Kang Yi-sim, and the pregnant Kim Joon-hee, Jo Yuri, who are all on the same team. Along the way, Hyun-ju is forced to kill off players from the opposing team, showing off her military training. Upon stumbling on the exit, she goes back to save Ji-ja and Joon-hee's newborn baby before being stabbed in the back by Lee Myung-ji, Yim Si-won. Below, Park breaks down Hyun-ju's decision to sacrifice herself, what it meant for a trans character to witness the baby's birth, and how the actor continues to reflect on the LGBTQ+ community's warm response to the character. Can you talk about the big emotional scene when Hyun-ju finds the exit, opens the door, and decides to go back, ultimately sacrificing herself to save the other two women? What's going through her head in that moment? When she finds the exit, it was just an automatic response for her to take a step. But I think her motivation shifted from Seasons 2 to 3. In Season 2, her main motivation was to get the money so that she could get her gender affirmation surgery, go to Thailand, and start over. But in Season 3, her big motivation became protecting the weaker woman here, Ji-ja, and Joon-hee's newborn baby as well. So when she took a step outside, I think there was a wake-up call inside her head telling her to go back. You have to protect these people. So I think the only thought that was left in her head at the moment was to go and save them. I remember limping and being very bloody, walking back to the room, and I feel very emotional right now actually thinking back to that scene because it was such a sad and heartbreaking moment. What was the experience like filming that death scene? Was it the last scene you shot? The final scene I filmed was when I'm being photographed by the Squid Game organizers. The scene when Joon-hee gives birth was so special to Hyun-ju because the birth of a life is such a holy and sacred thing. Especially as a trans woman, I think Hyun-ju would have lots of emotions swirling inside of her watching that happen. When Myung-ji stabs me in the back and kills me, there's a line in the script that says, Hyun-ju's soul leaves her eyes. So, I try to stay true to the script. Before Hyun-ju's death, we also see her in action, killing 2 other players in self-defense. What preparation went into the choreography for those violent scenes? Before we got into shooting the scene, we went to action school to start off with the basic training, and then we learned the choreo for that scene. We did a little bit of adjustments on set, but we basically followed the choreo that was given to us. And one of the 2 actors who I fought with in that scene actually spent 7 years in a Chinese temple called Shaolin Temple, which is known for martial arts. So that guy was so skilled, he knew how to act and react. Together with him, I knew I could create a really cool scene. The important thing when I was filming that scene was that Hyunju really wanted to protect Jeomja and the newborn baby, and in order to do that, she had to kill these people. But she is actually a very warm-hearted person and has a very good moral compass, so I thought that she would hate to kill these people, even if she has to. So I thought of looking away when stabbing, because she didn't want to see that she was actually killing someone. So every time she's stabbing someone, she's looking away.